It's okay.
Oj då. Ja, vad ska vi ha oss? När det kommer spansk fråga så sätter ni på det sättet. Så hoppas jag de är rätt inställda.
Jag har ju pluggat spanska säger jag. 4 år. Ja.
Okej, hjärtligt välkomna allesammans till dagens press.
So welcome everyone to today's press conference before tomorrow's match, Real Madrid against Malmö FF. To my side we have the coach, Olga Haraday, and Anton Tinnerholm. And you can start with the questions. Thank you. So, Olga, Mr. Coach, this is your last match with this team. And do you have any special feelings or emotions or things you need to try not to feel right now? Well, obviously, I have mixed feelings, and I don't want to think so much about this. I want to look at this match like a regular one, because this is just my job. And I also know, I'm well aware that this has been a long road. We've had a great time together over these years. We've had many experiences, and this is how life goes, and this is how football is. Football is about emotions. And we will have more of them tomorrow. And this is how things are. So, Olga, do you think it's weird to have your team, to take your team to Europe, competing in Europe, and then moving on to a new one? Well, I don't think it's weird at all, because anyway, as soon as I'm possible, I will go back to them to watch them. I want to watch them and be in the audience and support them. It's been great, and I've talked to the players today, and I told them that we have to believe in what we do, and after the latest defeats, we need to forget about them. We need to move on. And this is what we play football for. Otherwise, we should stop doing that, because that's our starting point. And let's see how far we get. So what do you think about not facing Martin Odegaard tomorrow? Well, anything related to Martin Odegaard is something that should be talked about by Benitez. This is Benitez's issue. It would have been great to see him play tomorrow. But there is some kind of hysteria in Norway. And this team has so many good players. This is one of the best teams in the world. And I think Martin is in good hands. And he's going to learn a lot here. And over the time, he will become a great player. So, okay. There is not a big difference between the PSG and Real Madrid matches. They were quite similar. But have you learned anything? Have you learned anything from these matches? And do you think you can do the same thing tomorrow? Do you think you can win tomorrow? Well, you can't really learn much from losing in football. But I think my players did very well in the home leg. But maybe there was too much hysteria about Ronaldo and the rest of the match, and probably we were too much feeling that. But I think that we're doing a great job as a team. There are some small mistakes which could lead to the first score. This is why they scored in the first place, and we couldn't get over it afterwards. But I think that match against Real Madrid was quite all right. But the difference is in the bench. Real Madrid's bench is top quality, and we all know players such as Ronaldo and many like them. But then there are many others who are just as good. You do your best. You play your role, and you have to deal with that. But when you lose to teams such as PSG, of course it hurts. But the most important thing for us is to work properly in terms of organisation and management, and to work together, because I think we will do a good match.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay. Do you have any possibility, 5%, to be qualified instead of Shakhtar Donetsk for Europa League, or not?
You asking me? Yeah, there is always in football. There's always when you start the game is 0-0, so there's always a possibility, and it's. Even if Madrid is already through for the next round, but I know that the club will go for a victory every time they play. It doesn't only play the game for playing the game. There are many big games to be played, but it's also a game in the Champions League which counts. So we know the difficulties about this game, but as always, we will go in and prepare for trying to get that point that's needed. That is my job, and that is the player's job.
Fråga till Anton. Vad har Åge?
This question is for Anton. What did Åge mean for you as a player? Well, Åge meant a lot for me. I come from Åtvidaberg, and I didn't have that experience. And all of a sudden, I see myself qualified for European Championship, and I knew that no Swedish team had played in Europe for a long time, and Åge helped me believe in myself, and he helped the rest of the team, all of the team, to believe in ourselves, and this made us feel we are in a much more powerful situation. And this contributed to my personal development, and also to the Malmö Football Club development.
And I don't know if he can play tomorrow or not.
I don't know either. I haven't seen him since he was carried off against Molde. We've been in Marbella training, and he couldn't come with us after that collision with the other centre half, and he's been home and been nursed at home, and he's now going to train this evening. So we will decide after the training if he's going to play or not. He has to be. He's a very experienced goalkeeper, so he hasn't trained for a few days, and that doesn't matter really. His condition is the most important thing, that he's fit enough to play. But if he can't play, we have to use the second goalkeeper. He's also a good goalkeeper.
Åge, om man ser till matchen mot Molde.
So, okay, if we look to the match against Molde, you played better and better as the match went along. So, what are your best recalls or best memories of that match? Well, in that match, we used the first half to stabilize ourselves, to work in the possession and getting a good rhythm and speed up. There were many opponents doing a great job, and when we implemented some changes, some new players jumped in and showed their potential. And these players are improving and they want to have a chance. They are full of energy, they are very fast, and I think that we could see many things in that match. And it's of course very important to always win in football, because a victory is always it always comes in handy. And it's always a good thing not to lose many matches in a row, especially when it's against our neighbour. So there are quite a few supporters here in Madrid. So does it help? To what extent? Well, we've seen in the home leg that it is very important, and it has an impact in our in the way we play. We had a great ambience at home, and we've had it throughout the year and in the Swedish league, but it was especially important in Champions League. And along with them, all together, we can team up and do a great job. And we want to end up in a good position. Not just we want a good result, not just for Åge, but also for our supporters. Okay, today, tomorrow you'll be playing your last match with Malmo. So what do you wish for your last match? Well, the only thing I wish is what I have been getting all the time I've worked for Malmo. Because this is an attribute, a feature of Malmo's player. If you look into their eyes, you can see that they are doing their best. They are great players, and our supporters, they're also great players. They are also doing their best, and this is why we made it this far in Champions League. We've made it together, completely together, and it was not always that way in the Swedish league, which is a pity, actually. It seems unnecessary because we could have done it all the way. It's been a great combination, and we've had work together, supporters and players and everyone in the club. It's been a great joint work, and we know that in Europe, in UEFA, everyone has noticed our ambience and our supporters, and even star players, when they play in Malmo, they have a good time because they feel the audience is there, and this is always great, and I hope Malmo continues this way in February, especially in February when they play in the Europa League. Any more questions? Anton. What are your best memories of your experience working with Åge? He's very demanding to his player, and that's the first time I experienced such a thing. So much demand. And I think that in some way this helped us move in the right direction towards Europe. He always finds something for us to correct, for us to improve, and he always finds ways for us not to be happy or with what we've done so far, to improve ourselves. And I don't think I could say anything negative now, because we've had 2 great years working together. Good afternoon. What do you fear the most about Real Madrid?
I think you can look at the titles of this club. The players has been playing here. over many years, this club has been sort of a leading trademark for football in the world. The best footballers in the world have been playing for this club. And I think that is given. I think Real Madrid stands out as a positive example of how important football is, to make something, to make a really big trademark. And you can go into every country, and this club is always mentioned as a leading club for international football.
In English. Last week, Real Madrid was sent off of the Spanish Cup. Now you have said that the Real Madrid is a big leader in the world, but it's a very high fail. What's your opinion?
I think it's if everyone was perfect, we will have a perfect world. And human beings make mistakes sometimes. And in football, this game of football is actually built on mistakes. If every game was all clear, everybody, no mistakes, it would be very boring to watch the game. So it's built by mistakes. And that is in human nature, to make mistakes. And of course I can say that this club shouldn't do that, but everyone does do mistakes, unfortunately. And it's a pity for Real Madrid that they're out of the Copa del Rey. I think all the Spanish people want the best teams to be there as long as possible.
Då har vi inga fler frågor, så vi tackar så jättemycket.
So there are no more questions, so thank you very much for everything, and that's everything from us.